Kiran tilled the earth, day after day. Sun, then no sun. Sleep, then back to the earth. His world was brown, brown dirt, brown sky, brown food. He knew nothing else. One day a crack. The sky split. A blinding light poured through. Kiran shielded his eyes. His heart hammered in his chest. A voice boomed, shaking the very air. "Kiran, I choose you!" Fear gripped him. He was frozen, unable to move. The light intensified, then darkness. Kiran awoke on cold stone. He sat up, head spinning. Gone was the brown. Greens and blues assaulted his eyes. The air vibrated with unfamiliar sounds. He was in a forest, but not like any he knew. A figure stood before him, tall and skeletal, draped in shadows. "Welcome, Kiran," the figure rasped, its voice like dry leaves. "I am the Shadow King. You are here to claim my power." The Shadow King held out a hand. A swirling black orb pulsed in its palm. "Take it. It is yours. Use it to defeat the tyrants of this world. But beware, power has a price." Kiran hesitated. He was just a farmer. But something in the Shadow King's words resonated deep within him. He reached out and touched the orb. A jolt shot through him. He felt different, stronger. The forest teemed with danger. Creatures with glowing eyes stalked him. Vicious plants snapped at his heels. He was alone, hunted. But the orb, now a pulsating darkness within him, whispered guidance. It showed him how to fight, how to survive. He learned to harness the shadows, to bend them to his will. Each victory fueled his confidence. He was no longer the timid farmer. He was a warrior, forged in the fires of the demon forest. He would claim his destiny. Word of Kiran spread like wildfire, whispers of a warrior touched by shadow magic, one who fought against the iron grip of the tyrannical emperor. Hope ignited in the hearts of the oppressed. People flocked to his banner. Farmers, blacksmiths, shopkeepers, all yearning for freedom. He trained them, shared his knowledge of the shadows. He molded them into a force to be reckoned with. Their first victories were small, then they grew bolder, each battle a thunderous roar against the emperor's cruelty. Kiran, always at the forefront, a whirlwind of shadow and steel. He was their champion, their liberator. Section 5, atop the broken throne. The final battle raged around the imperial city, a tempest of steel, fire, and magic. Kiran, a dark comet, carved a path through the emperor's forces. His every strike fueled by the rage of the oppressed, the whispers of the shadows. He stood before the emperor, a withered husk clinging to power. The emperor's eyes widened in fear. He knew his reign was over. With a final, echoing clash, Kiran was victorious. The people hailed him as their king. But as he sat upon the broken throne, a chill settled over him. The cheers sounded distant. The shadows whispered, "Hungry." Section 6, the hunger. Ruling was a different kind of battle, one fought with whispers and decrees. Kiran brought peace, prosperity. He rebuilt the shattered kingdom, but the shadows within him grew restless. They craved more. He tried to ignore them, to focus on his people, but the hunger gnawed at him. It whispered of a power beyond mortal comprehension, a power that resided in the very gods themselves. He remembered the Shadow King's words. Power has a price. He had tasted power. Now he craved it, needed it. He would become a god himself. Section 7, Devourer of Gods. The heavens trembled as Kiran ascended. He challenged the gods, one by one. His former allies watched in horror as the man they had followed, the king they had crowned, waged war on the divine. The battles were cataclysmic, the very fabric of reality strained. But Kiran fought with the fury of a man possessed. Fueled by the shadows, by his insatiable hunger, he consumed the gods. Their power became his. He stood triumphant, a being of unimaginable power. But at what cost? The man he once was, the hero, was gone, consumed by the very darkness he wielded. Section 8, King of Shadow. Kiran returned to his kingdom, but he was no liberator. He was the Shadow King reborn. His rule was absolute, his word, law. The people worshipped him, yes, but they also feared him. He felt nothing. No joy, no sorrow, only a vast, echoing emptiness. The shadows had taken everything. His humanity, his soul. He was a king, but also a prisoner, trapped in his own power. He had reached the pinnacle, achieved what he thought he desired, but it had cost him everything, and deep down he knew it would never be enough. Section 9. The cycle turns. A figure emerged from the shadows, a young man, eyes filled with a familiar desperation. Ren, summoned from another world, another pawn in the Shadow King's game. Kiran looked at him, a flicker of something akin to recognition in his eyes. He reached out, not in welcome, but in warning. But it was too late. The cycle had already begun anew. A scream ripped through the air, not of triumph, but of agony, pure soul-rending agony. Kiran's form contorted, twisted by the very power he had sought to control. He had become a monster, and the world would pay the price.